Should you buy a Crusader Spirit? That is the topic of today's video because, well, that is one of the new ship concepts that was introduced during this year's CitizenCon, and it comes with 3 variants. I personally think that they are very interesting, so today we are going to be having a look at their differences, their characteristics, how specific they are, their roles, and then we'll eventually talk about their prices and see whether they're worthy or not. So first one here is the C1 Spirit. This is the entry level of the Spirit range, and C1 here, C for cargo. This is the cargo variant, or at least the cargo specialized ship, because they seem to be holding the same amount of cargo. When we have a look here, the C1 Spirit, the E1 Spirit, and also the A1 Spirit, they all seem to be having a cargo capacity of 48 SCU. At least that is what this mini brochure is saying. Now, it seems a bit strange. We're going to be talking about it also later, but that's what it is. So what makes the difference between the C1, the E1, and the A1, since they're all having the same amount of cargo capacity? Well, it is that little thing here that you have at the top of the ship, and this is a tractor beam. Now, this is really the main competitor to the Cutlass. At least that is the aim of Crusader Industries here with this very ship. The Cutlass has 46 SU of cargo capacity, the Spirit 48, so you can carry 2 extra boxes. And really what I think is the big strength of this ship is the tractor beam, which you can see has kind of like a rail that goes up and down, probably in that is its base position when it is not being used, and when it is used it just slides down to the extremity of the ship. And as we can see on this concept image, it's actually a pretty decent ship if you want to be going to Rex. Now, you are not going to be doing any salvage with this ship, obviously. At least you're not going to be salvaging the materials of the ship, but you could be salvaging the lost cargo of a ship. Now, this could be a very great ship for this kind of salvaging operation, at least for cargo salvaging, but of course, it could be a decent ship for piracy as well, or at least if you're in a group of people who want to be acquiring cargo in a different fashion, maybe a non-conventional fashion, if you see what I mean, then this could be very practical. Rather than having you doing the job out there outside of the ship, you just have someone else here in the co-pilot seat handling that tractor beam, and they'll be just bringing the floating boxes in the ship. A very interesting concept, and that is really the biggest strength of this ship right now. It's also a decent ship at combat as well. You can see here on the on this concept image, the Crusader Spirit taking down a Cutlass. Now, I don't think it's going to be a ship that's going to be as good as a Cutlass when it comes to combat abilities. It has a size 2 shield, a single size 2 shield, just like the Cutlass, so that's not really an advantage here. They are pretty much the same, but when it comes to weapons, it is equipped with 2 size 3 gimbals. That means you're going to have 2 size 2 on the top and 2 size 2 gimbals. So that means these are going to be coming with default size 1 at the bottom. So that means that 2 of the cannons are equivalent to the Cutlass, but 2 other cannons are not going to be as strong as a Cutlass. So then it all comes down to how maneuverable the Spirit is going to be. Is it going to be more maneuverable than a Cutlass? That remains to be seen, because these are these are not really small ships. These are medium ships. It is 48 meters long. So we're really talking about something a little bit bigger than an entry-level ship. It's more like a middle-range ship, medium size. So don't expect to be doing much dogfighting with a Spirit, just like the Cutlass is not really made for dogfighting, although it is still a capable ship nevertheless. So looking pretty good indeed here, this C1 Spirit, and it comes down with a price tag of $100. If you buy it with fresh money, if you're a concierge, you'll have access to that beautiful crimson paint here, but I prefer my Crusader ships all white like this. I think that they are much more stylish. Of course, they come with a pack as well if you want to be getting more than one. Now, there are more than one ship, as we said, 3 different variants. So next we are going to be having a look at the E1 Spirit here. The E standing for executive, because with this ship you are going to be doing some passenger transports. That's why there's this big canopy here. On the top of the very ship, you can see 3 very nice luxury seats on one side. There's going to be 3 other luxury seats on the other side. It is the passenger version, the equivalent of your luxury private jet that you'll be flying around the Stanton system. So, what is the E1 made of? Well, we have a couple of very interesting pictures right here. Look at those cabins. These are obviously, again, concept images, but they look very comfortable, very nice. Very nice seats here. You got bubbly wine glasses. I'm not saying champagne. Champagne's from France, from Champagne region, so sparkling wine here. And nice little screens here. I hope there are going to be different videos as well, not just a single image like we have in the Horizon Shuttle. And it looks like these capsules can be closed as well. And there is also, as they say here, a refreshment service, which I really wonder if we're going to be able to interact with this one or not. Let's have a look at some more images here, the same kind of screen, which seems like we're looking at the moon of Selene down there. And again, it's going to have the same combat capabilities as the C1 with the same size 3 gimbals gun and size 2 gimbals, but also a remote turret that you will be able to fire from the co-pilot seat. Now, it's looking very nice, but my big concern with the Spirit, and this is something that you can see here, is just the size. It's one big target, bigger than the Cutlass, I'm afraid. But at least, you know, to make it fit in more cramped spaces, you can still retract the wings over there, as you can see, when the landing gears are down. So I guess it makes it up for its broad size. But the wings should make it more aerodynamic as well. So when you are flying in atmosphere, I believe you should be faster than the Cutlass, which again is great because when you are transporting passengers want to go from point A to point B as fast as possible. So it definitely makes sense here. If we look at the specificities of the E1, again, you know, it is made for VIP transport, as they said, with a crew of 6 executive seats, but it says that it still has 46 SU of cargo capacity, which I'm not surprised because the passengers here are here, but the cargo hold is here. So that's why it makes sense. I mean, if you have the passenger, the module here is just changing, but pretty much the rest of the ship remains the same. So that's why it still has its cargo hold, but obviously it does not have the tractor beam since it is being replaced by a defensive little turret that you have over there. This one comes at the price of $135, so it's a little bit more expensive, but you get more opportunities with this ship, as you'll be able to do passenger transport when this type of gameplay is finally going to be available, and on top you'll still be able to do some cargo or box missions. So it's more expensive, but you'll be able to do more, so I think that it makes sense. And the last entry in the range here is the A1 that we get to see here. Now, what is the A1? It is a bomber. So I know that some people don't like bombers that much out there. It's basically the entry level of the A2 when it comes to the bomber range, except that instead of being called the A2, it's called the A1 because it is smaller, and obviously you are not going to have the same size, the same bomb size here, because I believe that these are size 5 bombs that are coming up from the bombing module, which is in here instead of the passenger model. It's a bombing module, which I think that we're still keeping the same amount of cargo. At least that is what the brochure here says. Still 48 cargo capacity here. And instead of having the tractor beam. It still has the remote turret, but it is coming here with, oh sorry, my bad, these are size 3 bombs, not size, yeah, size 5 seems a little bit big here, so sorry, these bombs are size 3, so they're not going to be that big, they're not going to make that much damage. And what I believe is that these bombs are more going to be useful for precision bombing, whereas the A2 is more for carpet bombing, or you want to be destroying everything at the same place. You're gonna have to use the A2, but you want to have specific bombing. You want to bomb like a specific ground vehicle or a specific group of individuals. Then that is why the A1 is going to be good for. And this one here comes at a price tag of $155. It's much more expensive, it's more specialized, but it's going to be doing a lot of damage as well. It's a very dangerous ship. Here is what I think about the series here. I think that it looks great. I think that it's going to be quite maneuverable, especially in atmosphere, which is really a signature trademark of Crusader Industries. And it's got a little bit more cargo of the Cutlass for the same price, but it's trading more cargo for a little less firepower. I think that it's okay because you're not going to be doing PvP with the Cutlass anyway, and you're not going to be doing any PvP with the Spirit anyway. I think that in capable hands, it's not going to be doing much change. Also, if you change the fixed gimbal, the gimbals with fixed weapons here, the size 1s, and then you're going to have size 2 fixed with maybe some gimbals size 2 as well, so this can compensate, and if you're a good pilot you should be able to make it up and do pretty well against at least NPCs too. So a very good ship here. I would recommend the C1 definitely. If you're into passenger transport like me, definitely the E1 as well, but you're not going to be able to have the cargo hold. So if you want to be doing a little bit of piracy or salvaging cargo, then that's not going to be possible. That's okay, because I definitely prefer passenger transport anyway. So I did buy an E1 for myself. And, well, the C1 and the A1, these are shoes that I bought for you guys because I am going to be giving those away for you in October. All you have to do to get a chance to win a C1 is to subscribe to the channel and answer the question that I'm asking right now. Have you bought a Crusader Industries Spirit here? What do you guys think? I know I've already asked the question, but maybe this video did change your mind, because I don't know, when I asked the question originally, it was maybe a little bit fresh, right? So a couple of days later, what do you guys still think about the Crusader Industries Spirit? Well, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, feel free to be joining our Discord channel. We got another giveaway there as well, and we are giving away an A1 Spirit, all of that with LTI, of course. All you have to do is to join our video sharing contest, or you can also be a Patreon or a YouTube channel member and just enter your name in the dedicated channel. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to all my Patreons out there who make this content possible, especially Dr. Forbin, Captain Snake, Geek Citizen, The DJ Dun, and Zero Crusher. It's been the Eradicator, and I will see you guys later.